Can you imagine?
What I was going to say.
All right.
All good. All good. Double check. Yes. All right. Hello, all-nighters. I am Margaret.
And I'm Alice.
And this is an episode of Pulling an All-Nighter where we brought to you an incredible guest. She is the owner of Sweaty Mama Beckenham, and her name is Channon. She's absolutely amazing. Tell us what Sweaty Mama actually is.
Sweaty Mama is pre- and postnatal fitness, pre- and postnatal exercise classes for mums, and they can bring their babies.
Okay, so when you say pre and post, so how early is pre? Are we talking about you get a pregnancy test and, oh, I can now attend your class, or is it, do I need to be 4 weeks pregnant, 10 weeks pregnant?
It's from as soon as you're ready. Every mum is different. Some mums prefer to wait until they've got past the first trimester. You know what it's like when you just don't feel, you don't feel your best. But as soon as you get to the second trimester, you're like, yes, I'm ready to go out. But we've had a lot of mums who have been doing boot camp with us and then find out they're pregnant and then just carry on.
So you don't have to be a mum to do your Sweaty Mama boot camp.
Not
See, I always thought I needed to be a mum to do that.
No, it's all just a woman.
That was 10 years old. 10 years old is when we found out. Oh my gosh. So mums out there do not need to be mums. They can just join the boot camp and start the classes.
Technically, women can join any of the classes.
Okay.
I mean, they are for mums, and a lot of our mums, they are day classes, and the mums are on maternity leave, and they'll bring their babies because it's pre- and postnatal focus, but it's still exercise. So technically, you can have anybody, well, a woman. You can have any woman, any female, show up to the class with or without a baby, pre- and postnatal. They could be 16 or they could be 65. It's totally up to them.
Very cool. So tell us about the range of classes that you run then. So you mentioned like boot camp.
Yeah.
But
We've got 4 different classes, and each of them are a different level of stress. So the first level is Mamalates, which is Pilates style, and this one is for mainly new mums and prenatal mums. The mums that are just getting ready to give birth, they like it because it kind of prepares their pelvic floor and their abdominal muscles. And then new mums that want to go into a bit more of postnatal rehab, strengthening and toning, and just kind of getting them ready to go back into the world of fitness as well.
well, they do say, like, obviously, and I never did this and it's bad, but when you've had your baby, like, they always say, oh, work on your...
Pelvic
floor. That's it. So is that what Mamalates does? It's like that helping with that pelvic floor exercise and things like that.
I mean, I guess you'd probably say Mamalates is the most focused rehabilitation class, but the rest of them do, we say it a lot, pelvic floor. We do it throughout all of the classes, but Mamalates is probably the most focused on that because you have just had a baby. Even if you had a C-section, we still work on that pelvic floor. Yeah, so it's a lot about we call it the core canister, and it's made up of the abdominal muscles, the pelvic floor, and your diaphragmatic breathing as well. And when you work on all 3 of those things, it's the best possible way to strengthen your whole body post-birth.
So that is boot camp, and then Mamalates.
The next one is Sweaty Mama.
Okay.
Sweaty
Which
Mama.
I did, and Alice has also
I
done.
have done it. Not with you yet, but yeah, I've done it before.
Okay, so the Sweaty Mama, I thoroughly enjoyed it because it's that aerobics, it's getting down with the music, it's meeting other mums, but also bringing my baby with me, and all that movement and excitement and hugging my child and lifting my child was absolutely incredible.
But we do sweat.
Yeah, we do. We're like, how long is everyone's child in here? Okay, cool.
Yeah. because I have got 2-year-olds and they speak now, so you have to be a bit more careful. But yeah, the class is made up for mums.
Yeah.
So we do all of these different baby classes, and I love all of them. I do a lot of networking, so I know a lot of all of them in Beckenham, but they're all focused on baby.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to find something for mum.
Yeah.
So that's why we do what we do, and that's why we play our music, and there's swear words, and there's a little bit more of a joke and a laugh, because it kind of helps mums to just remember who they are.
Yes.
We're not just mums, we are.
And we have to do all incy-wincy
Spider.
not incy-wincy spider every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to give them 2-pack and work out.
There's nothing better than showing your child your music, and getting them listening your music. It's a game changer. It is. Sweaty Mama, that one's probably the next step.
Okay.
And then after that, the 4th class is Strength. And this one is all about circuits and hip work. And you kind of basically go around the room, baby's in the middle, we've got a whole area for them to play, and you will do a series of exercises which is a little bit more intense than Mamalates and Sweaty Mama. I guess you'd probably call it the daytime boot camp.
Yeah.
So it's the one that you can do if you want to do a more intense class, but you want to bring a baby. That's the one you want to go to as well.
And I've done so I've done strength, and I've done
Yes, you did.
I did, and I absolutely loved it. But also, when you do the strength class, as you said, you leave your baby in the middle, or your baby can literally crawl around with you, which Exon did. And you do dumbbells, you do squats, and each station has something different, and you just get a proper workout. But as you said, it's also in the daytime, because I could never get an evening childcare. And what I love about it is that all your classes are at different times. So, 10 o'clock or 1 o'clock. As a mum, sometimes you're unable to get that time in that moment.
Yeah.
And also, I think you time them perfectly for other things that are happening across the borough or in that area.
Yeah, I mean, we have to look at, there's no way I'm going to do a baby sensory, Sweaty Mama, mix up there, because people will then have to choose which one they want to go to. But I am in the same location as the but no, I mean, we do try to make it as flexible as possible. We change the times to suit, but you might find that your nap time change. The baby's just not feeling it today. And so you think, I can't make it. I'm just not going to get out and do this class as much as I want to do it. I can't do it. You just send me a message and I say, no problem, come to Thursday. So it just kind of gives people a bit more flexibility, gives mums a little bit more room to breathe.
So when I've done your classes, that is actually true. So for anyone watching, there were days where I was just like, Exon is either napping, or she's just thrown up all over me, or literally I've had the worst night's sleep ever. And I would message you and be like, not today, not today. And then you'd be like, okay, well, there is another class at this time next week or this week, or you can catch up with it. And you were so naturally sympathetic, and you showed natural empathy. You didn't even try. And I think for mums out there who find it, there are so many barriers to exercise. The last barrier you need is your fitness coach going, why aren't you at class today? Or, we miss you today. What's you never
another level.
Exactly.
So you have to be empathetic, because I'm a mum as well. I totally understand. But when you do get there, that's a different story.
There's no sympathy. She's just like, lift that leg up. What? Lower. Okay, we're actually going to do a mini class for you guys in a minute, and then you can get a real taste of Channon. This is Channon in this moment, and then you'll be like, is that the same?
I love it. No, but it's important, you do have to push a little bit, because mums, the other thing you do find when people bring their babies to class is that they'll go, oh, that was really tough. Because they told me this. They go, oh, that was really tough. Oh, is my baby crying? What can they leave me? Oh, keep my children. And then you think, do you know? So you remember that. I do remember things like that. And then I'll say to that person the next week, we're all settled? Yeah, we're all baby settled, and that's good, and happy, right? So we push but we're also very understanding.
Yeah.
As well.
And I guess my question is, when it comes to, because we obviously know all about that feeling walking into somewhere new, and also there's always the history of, oh, mums are so hard when they've got their little clips and things like that. It's so hard to make mum friends and kind of go into a space where mums have already formed a network and kind of come in as a new person.
Yeah.
What does that feel like? How do you make sure that everyone does feel like, oh, this isn't awkward for me, I'm just as included? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I do my best to get people talking. I do it all the time. So there'll be a mum who's brand new or doesn't know anybody. I always ask them, do you know anyone here, or have you met anybody? And I'll be speaking with them about something, and then in the corner of my eye I'll see another mum that's doing something, and I'll go, oh yeah, because you know so-and-so. It's also done that. And then you kind of just start to get them to, and then I walk away. Yeah. But then they start to talk, and it's like, even if you just know one person or just a general chit chat, a little bit of a hello. We do also encourage mums to meet up after.
Yeah.
Go for that coffee.
Yeah.
It only takes one mum to say, do you want to come for a coffee?
And you know what? Half the time people are thinking it.
Yeah.
Oh,
But they don't know how to say it. Yeah. It happens all the time. I see it. And I know in my head, I think that person, oh, she's nervous.
Yeah.
She's worried.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to give her a little bit more time. And it's so lovely when you see a mum at the back of the class, doesn't know anyone, doesn't really want to speak up or anything like that. Give her 4 weeks, at minimum 4 weeks, and she's right at the front of the class. She's chatting away to people. She's going whoop, whoop, like that. And then you see her down the road and she's having a coffee with the mums, you know, from the class. And you just think, good, this is what I wanted. Because it's not just about exercise. It is about mental health.
Yeah.
And it's about making sure mums, you know, try and come out of that cloud. You know, the cloud that you're in when you've just had a baby. It's so tough. And it is really important to get mums to feel like themselves again.
Yeah.
You know, feel included and just feel good.
Yeah. And especially as a new mum as well, it's that thing of you build it up in your head of, oh my God, there's all this stuff that I'm meant to know and all this stuff that I'm meant to be doing. And so it's nice that you're then there just like, it's fine, we will literally hold you and just push you along.
Yeah.
But get at the same time. So that's amazing. But what made you start it then?
Yeah.
What made you get into sweating mama or fitness, actually? Have you always been a fitness babe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've never missed a PE class. But I never forgot your kit.
Right.
Never. I had so many dance routines as a child as well. You know, you do that with your sister and your friends and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just felt like when I saw Sweating, because it's a franchise, it is all over the UK. When I saw it, I was like, yeah, that is just a bit of me. That is overall completely. So I did go through the process. I did all the training. I set all of that up. But the scary part of it was I did it in COVID.
Yeah.
I did it in lockdown. But it was such a risk.
Yes.
Because I didn't even have a clue whether it was even going to pick up.
Yeah.
You know, I had no idea.
Hold on. You're a new mum. It's COVID. You just had a baby.
You had a baby in COVID.
You had a baby in COVID. And then you were like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set up a franchise. It's like, I'm literally going to register with a franchise. And I'm going to set up a whole exercise. Excuse me.
Talk about this.
So talk us through that process of you had a baby and then what happened? Because there's a whole bit in between before and then the setting up Sweaty Mama.
Did you say that you lose your mind a little bit once you've had a baby? So I think I was probably a bit doulating at the time. But the main thing was, I think because when you have a baby, there's something in your head that thinks, I don't want to go back to work. I do not want to go back to work.
That part.
Yes.
And I think at that time I was like, how am I ever going to make this work with childcare? And, you know, I don't want to be away from him. And, you know, I was just trying to figure out what I could do. And where it was COVID, there was nothing else to do but sit and think on it, you know, and think about what can I do? I was even looking at training to become like a broker.
You're like selling houses, location.
Like to see how, you know, stock market.
Oh, that's a broker. All right. You're like all about the money.
Okay. I was thinking about money.
Right.
But it was like, I was in this place where I was like, what am I going to do? I need to find something to keep me alive and to make money and to be able to be with my child and stuff, you know? So where I wasn't doing baby classes and I wasn't going out with other mums and basically was just home alone with this little baby, I spent that whole time studying and working and setting this whole thing up in the hopes that we're going to be let out soon.
Be free.
Yeah, and it would be something that people could do. But I think it was also a bit deeper than that because I was isolated. And, you know, it's hard enough being isolated just as a mum on maternity leave anyway. To do it in lockdown was shit. So it was just something that I wanted to bring for other mums as well. And I think when that first day came where we was able to go out and I could launch that class.
Abnormal, but it's fine to get.
I was so excited. I mean, I was nervous, of course. The whole thing was nerve-wracking, but I got booked up immediately. Straight away, because I think everyone was so keen to get out again. So when we got that announcement that, yes, you can go out and you can start doing stuff again, it was like bookings were coming in straight away. So it just kicked off from there.
How are you advertising yourself, like in that lead up to the restrictions being lifted and stuff? What were you...
Well, it was a lot of social media. And, you know, when you do start off as a new business on social media, you do put yourself out there a lot. I didn't know if anyone was responding to it or not, because I think a lot of people look at things and they keep it in the back of their mind. They may not act on it, they may not like it or comment or anything like that, but they're watching. You know? And I felt like that must have been what had happened, because when it was like, okay, bookings can now be opened, book up, it was like 2 days in and it was booked. So that was amazing. But it was just a lot of social media in the beginning. I mean, I did have leaflets, but this time I was walking around Beckenham Place Park with my baby in the pram going, "Here's a leaflet. Do you want to join my class?" And I couldn't do it. I think I handed out like one leaflet. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I can't do it. It's too cringe. I can't do it. But now, I feel like now I'll just be like, hey, you know. So I think it just builds a bit of confidence. You do have to, after a while, go with it. You know? And it took a bit of build up, but then, like any business, it became word of mouth as well. And baby's coming back with number 2. Number 2, should I say? It's just built.
And it is word of mouth. So I found out I'd seen Sweaty Mama on social media and I said, I don't think this is for me. It doesn't look hardcore enough. I was like, I know, I will admit that to you right now. But I was like, oh, it doesn't really look hardcore enough. But okay, do you know what? At some point I'll book it. And then I was in a coffee shop in Beckenham with a friend while I was on maternity. And it was a work colleague. We were having a coffee, etc. And then another mum was sitting on her own and she heard us talking about nannies. And she said, oh, I've just come from a Sweaty Mama class and I heard you talking about nannies. Could you give me a bit of advice on nannies? And I was like, yeah, sure. And she was like, I attend this amazing class. Her name's Channon. You're not going to regret it. Definitely book it. I know. She said you should book it. Come with me next week is what she said. Come with me next week and you won't regret it. And you know what? I have never looked back. And when another mum tells you and shares her experiences, that's real love. Like, forwarding something and like, that's fine if you just say, oh, I think she comes to class. But when somebody from a true, genuine place invites you somewhere and tells you it's amazing, and that is testament, and I have to say, to your hard work, to your commitment, to your just amazingness, because after one class, I came back and I was excited for the next class. I'm excited for the next class. Did Sweaty Mama, then did Strength. You know, it is so much opportunity. So my question is, it sounds so easy, but what are the hard and challenging bits? For parents out there, business people out there, what are the challenging bits about running your own business?
Well, the main thing would be if people actually book it as well. Because, you set up a class and you think, coming, but I mean, touch wood, luckily is this wood? Touch wood, I've had fully booked classes since the beginning and I hope it stays that way. It's
the number 1 in the UK, right?
All right, so that's a challenge. What are your highs? You tell us about the highs.
The highs of it being the number 1.
I
mean, the numbers speak for themselves, you know. I think
Don't worry, be humble. It's not going to you are.
Let's not do humble. Let's not do humble. Let's just say it.
I've worked for this.
Exactly. What? So hard. Like, I mean, like, to come up with something during COVID time. They always say, like, summer bodies are made in the winter. And then in summer, you're like, I feel like this is the example that, like, COVID, I was working during COVID. And now, this is what I've got. Like,
So explain that. You are, just repeat it for the camera. You are the
#1 franchise of the UK. Thank you.
like, but going back to what you're saying around people need to put the classes and your class is always booked. But what have been, like Margaret said, what have been like any of the struggles to get there? Because it doesn't happen overnight. You worked your ass off for it.
I mean, it was a lot of late nights. It was a lot of sleepless nights as well. It was every opportunity that I could get where my son would nap.
Yeah.
I'd be working. And then I told him, I had a word with him, I said, give me 2 hours, son. Give me half an hour. And I was like, so it's like there was a lot of there was no sitting down and relaxing.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. It was just constantly working. But then even so now, I do feel a lot more comfortable and a lot more content with what I do. But there's that always constant fear and anxiety that people may just go, do you know what? I'm not going to do it. Or they think things stop to spread. And, you just get worried that no one will come to the class. And then really, if you have no one coming, you've got no class, you've got no business and stuff, So I think it's a lot of hours that get put in. There is a lot of admin, a lot behind the scenes. There's finances, there's marketing, there's a lot.
But when you talk about admin, how do you reply to all your messages quickly? I have 200 odd messages that I ain't read or opened, whereas you will reply instantly. That is an element of work. I get
Sometimes I do sacrifice, and this is what I feel terrible about, maybe I'm being too hard on myself.
You are.
My son will be like, Mummy, and I'll get a message, and it will be a new mum inquiring. And they always say in business, you have to respond quickly, because if you leave that message, that person will no longer be interested. So it is important to engage with that person, answer any questions that they have, and keep them going with that message. And when I get a new message, I'm like, right, okay. I'm like, yeah, okay, come here. And it feels like that. You're doing 15 things at once.
Yeah.
But that person booked.
Yeah.
Son, what do you need? So I do feel bad because I'm trying to juggle his needs with trying to run a business. And that is just the mental load.
But you told us before, you mentioned before about why you're doing it, what drives you. And part of that is your son, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was when you're on maternity leave and you're thinking of things to do because you want to be with your child, but then you also need to make money as well. It was really about him. And I don't know what it was. It's like when you become a mum, you feel like you're just part of this like elite group.
Yeah.
And you see other mums and you're like you just get it, and something changes in you when you think, I love you and I respect you and you are a strong woman and you've got this, because in your head you're thinking, I want someone to say that to me. You just kind of feel like you need to give that person a little bit more support because you don't know what they're going through, and it's a hard path to maneuver around, and it's something about becoming a mum that's made me feel like I need to do more for him. I need to do this for him. I need to make loads of money for him. I need to be there for him. And it was just something about having him that just something sparked.
Yeah.
Because before him, I was just doolally. I was just traveling and just, going on holiday all the time, working. I'd go out partying with my friends and didn't really have like a part.
Yeah.
I worked, and I did work hard, and I was making money, I had a career, but there was just something missing.
Yeah.
Something missing. And I think as soon as I had him, everything changed.
And there's something also around, I find that, and maybe because I'm in that stage as well, where you realise that I need to find my passion.
Yeah.
I need to find something that I really enjoy, because I want my kids to see that I'm doing something that I'm passionate about, and I want them to eventually do that as well. So you do kind of get into that mode of I need to find myself
Yeah.
and figure it out. But does that mean your son is like Mr. Fitness now? Is your son like, if he's got 50,000 after school kind of activities that he does and fitness and everything else, or what does that look like?
His dad is currently doing at-home jiu-jitsu training with
Love
him.
it. Wow.
I don't know what it is, like Muay Thai or basically he does
Martial arts, yeah.
Yeah, he does that with him at home.
Yeah.
He does swimming, he just started gymnastics.
Yeah.
But to be fair, when a song comes on, his go-to move is a squat. So and I'm like, I look at him and I think, is that what I'm talking about? That's how you dance.
Like, drop it low first,
He does.
and then we'll do the rest.
But he does a serious face and he'll put his hands up and he'll do like his squat thing, and I'm like, yes, son, you look amazing. Keep going with it. Yeah, but he's really come out of his shell with that actually. But I do have to say, doing what I do, I don't know if it is from him seeing me in classes and having that big like, hi everyone, and let's move and let's and showing a bit of confidence, but he's really confident.
Yeah.
And he's really social, and he's just really outgoing.
He's just his mum.
I'd like to think so. I do. I mean, he looks nothing like me. I like to think he acts like me. He has my character, but he is. He's very outgoing and he's very confident. And he's, when he runs like that, he's all about Sonic and stuff, So
I was going to say that's the Sonic one. Yeah. How my son sometimes as well.
And he's at that age where he's like, Mum, watch this. And he has to run and do like a spin jump.
Okay. Wow.
Wow, that was amazing. And he's at that age there. So he's very active, but he's always been very, very active anyway. So I do think exercise has helped.
Yeah.
It has helped with me keeping up with him.
Yeah.
He's just started school, he's in reception and he wants to ride his scooter and I have to run with him because he doesn't understand the driveways and the roads and all of that stuff. So, you have to run.
And I bet he's also at that age where all our kids are now actually, where it's like soft play parties. And you have to climb and get involved in the soft play. You can't just sit back and watch them and be like, oh, have fun. No, you have to get up and get in there, I find, anyway.
Well, saying that, I feel like I've got to a stage where I can actually sit.
You can sit now.
Yeah, and I'm like,
I feel like I'm enjoying my
experience. Yeah, it gets easier.
No.
You can sit and enjoy a hot drink after a while, but yes, when they're like 2 and 3, hey, go in there, and you have to like climb through and stuff, and you're sweating, and there's hand, foot, and mouth everywhere, stuff like that, and you have to de-sanitize afterwards. Like it's true, it's where it comes from. But it does get easier. I think the older you can relax a bit.
So we talked about the highs in terms of the franchise and in terms of being the number one. There's also the MOT stuff that you've done quite recently. So talk us through that. What it actually means. What is it?
So Mummy MOT is when you have just had a baby and something's not quite right.
Yeah.
You usually go and see a physiotherapist, an osteopath, but someone who can help you figure out exactly what's going on. That could be if you've had prolapse, if you've had diastasis, pelvic floor incontinence, all different types of issues that you can have from.
We can go through it, man.
But
Come on, we go through it.
That list,
yeah, I mean, unfortunately, sometimes birth is not fun.
Yeah.
And it can leave you with issues post-birth as well. So people will go and see a professional and they call it a mummy MOT.
Okay.
So they'll go and have that MOT to figure out what's going on and work on ways to, repair and build. And a lot of the time, a physio will refer a mum to exercise.
Yeah.
And they will come to us. And they'll say, I had a mummy MOT, I was referred to you, which is amazing. Thank you for that, by the way. When I get those referrals, thank you. But it's also important for me to understand what it is that they're going through and how to best support them in exercise.
Yeah.
So I qualified as a mummy MOT, which means it just means that I have a much better understanding of a mum thing.
Yeah.
So if someone came into me and they had a prolapse, I could say to them, okay, well, there's specific things that you can't do that the rest of us maybe do.
Is prolapse the one where it's the stomach?
Prolapse is the one where where it feels like your organs are about to come out.
Oh God.
Yeah, and it feels like everything's really low, and it feels like you can't really walk and exercise comfortably because it feels like it's but you can still exercise. You can, and I think a lot of mums get put off.
Absolutely.
You know, they get put off, from the fear of it. Even if you just had incontinence. You know, and you think, I'm going to go and do jumping jack.
I ain't even squat. Literally, I'm like, no.
Even diastasis. So diastasis is the ab separation.
That's one of them.
The thing is actually 100% of mums get diastasis when they're pregnant. And it's really just a case of if they come back together. You know, a lot of the time they do, and we're very lucky that they do come back together. Unfortunately, for some mums, they stay apart, and it could be a few centimetres. It could be really wide. But actually, I've had a lot of mums that have come to me with diastasis and have said, "Oh, it's starting to close." You know, and it's because we do the right exercises to help them with that. You completely avoid the rectus abdominis, which is crunches.
And that's what you automatically think to go to. You think, I need to do sit-ups and I need to do all of that stuff. Right?
Actually, you do transverse abdominals. Which is planks. Mountain climbs, things like that, because actually that will help these abs and it will help it to
pull together.
So there's certain things that you need to know about a mum, and then what exercises would be the best for them as well. But, you know, we talk them through the process, and if they're happy to, the physio will talk to us as well and share information that we may need to know, and then it just helps us to better work with them.
So I need to ask, we live in a culture of snapback. This term gets thrown around all the time. Oh, you need to snap. What do you mean you haven't snapped back? What do you mean?
When other women go, you have snapped back.
Or people are really like, oh my God, you look amazing and stuff like that. We just live in a culture, and I think it doesn't help when celebrities, the whole thing is, oh my God, they look like this. They had a baby yesterday and they look like this today. And there's so much pressure around it. So what do you say to women around the whole snapback thing? Because there's so much pressure.
Can I swear?
That's
bullshit.
Agree.
The thing is nobody will ever look the same after they've had a baby. You've had a baby. You know, everything's going to be different. But that's not to say that you can't feel good about yourself.
100%.
I don't like to say, oh, let's work on losing weight. I don't like to say, let's work on snapping back. I like to say, let's get strong. Let's build those muscles. Let's build that strength. Because actually, when you start to build muscles and you start to, you know, work on that side of it, you then look at yourself in a different light. You know, actually, I'm strong. I'm powerful. I can do it all. You know, I can take over the world. At this point, you know, rather than I can skip it. You know, we're not trying to do that. You know, we're trying to, you know, build muscle. That's what we're trying to do. So I call bullshit on all of that. And I never promote that we are going to help you snap back or we're going to help you lose weight. I promote that we're going to work you through your postnatal recovery, and we're going to build those muscles back up for you, and then you can decide from there where you want to take your body as well, you know, because a lot of the time mums come to us during maternity leave and then they go back to work and they say, well, what do I do next? So I'm just trying to get you to a point where you feel comfortable to then go to that spin class. To go and do the couch to 5K, you know, things like that. And we're trying to get you to continue. Not just, okay, I've done my 8 months of exercise, I'm ready to be done with it now. We don't want that, we want you to carry on.
And also there's confidence as well. You are building a huge amount of confidence. So, and that's the physical side. So we talked a lot about the physical side, but there's the mental health side as well, which you touched on previously. I remember just being at home and feeling, as you said, isolated. And I wasn't even during COVID, feeling isolated and not connected with people. But also you talk about the cloud. Not wanting to connect with people as well. And I found that your classes were the gateway for me to do other stuff. So I started your class and I started feeling better. I was getting dressed at least one day a week. I was having a shower once a week. I was leaving the house and getting a coffee and doing all that stuff once a week. And then I was like, okay, now I can go up another day. And it genuinely built that. And then one day I was like, okay, do you know what? I'm going to go to the gym today and supplement what I'm doing here. And then I did Sweaty Mama. And then I was like, okay, now I feel confident to do the strength. And I do think what you do is about that mental health. The physical contributes to that, but it is that, right?
Yeah, I'd love to think that, definitely, because when you combine exercise with mental health, actually, you've got an amazing combination.
Yeah.
And just exercising alone releases a lot of feel-good hormones in itself.
Yeah.
And you'll find that when someone's finished a class, they feel a lot more chatty.
Yes.
You know, and they feel a little bit more loose. And
Yeah.
just a little bit more ready to converse with people. And that's because you release things like endorphins, which will make you just feel good about what you've just done, you know. So we do try to get people feeling like that. I mean, yesterday, for example, I was like, I need sass, I need hips, I need everyone to just let loose. And, you know, we're not in exercise, we're in bridge bar right now. We've got jackets in hand, we're getting low. I was like, we used to have heels this big, right? To drop it down low. You know, but still do it. I think at one point I even shouted out, "You look so sexy." And someone said that to me, and in the car they were like, "You was on fire today." No. But sometimes it is just about reminding mums that actually, we're not just mums, we're having a good time. You know? We used to be someone before we had this baby.
Yeah.
Let's bring that person back and stuff, you know. So it is about mental health, major mental health as well as physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that note, we're going to take a quick break, grab a coffee, grab a drink, I don't know, move your baby from one boot to the other, go and make some formula, whatever you're going to do, we will be back in a moment. See you in a sec.
Mr. He's on the can't seem to shake the shade.
Can you feel the difference with the band?
He sees the life he made.
Those lights? I've got next week. And a kiss!
A silent sleeper, you won't hear a beat beat.
Well done. Susie, I need more from you. You should have taken it extra!
It seems the feelings that she had a
Eva!
this day and
You
night.
fixed it!
The whole time and night.
Well done! Have a leg now! 3, 2, 1!
And night.
Keep going on this way! 2, 1!
And night.
And again! Last one! 3, 2, 1!
And night.
Woo! Well done! Good job.
Okay, we're going to get straight into it. We've got Channon here from Sweaty Mama Beckenham, and she is talking us through being a mum, setting up a business, setting up a franchise, getting mums motivated, getting mums into exercise, postpartum recovery, everything regarding you as a mama. So, what advice would you give mums? Like, what would you say to mums out in their journey and their fitness journey, I guess?
I think it's very important for mums to know that as soon as you have a baby, it doesn't just stop. Your body is just different. It's not about snapping back. It's not about trying to be skinny again and fitting back into those jeans, even though everyone's got that pair of jeans and that cover. That
One day,
we will get back into it. But that's not what it's about. What it's about is just feeling strong.
Yeah.
It's about building those muscles again, and it's about knowing that you're a powerful woman. You've just had a baby. If you can do that, you can do anything. I mean, we was mentioning it earlier about how you feel like you become part of this like elite group of women, and it is about promoting each other as strong, powerful women who can do anything. I don't want to sound biased, but we are better than
We really are.
We're much better. Absolutely. We are built for this world, and they are there to just support. They are, they're there to just help along the way. Yeah. And that's it.
basically, we're better.
And we know it too.
Exactly.
But it's about reminding you that once you've had a baby, it doesn't stop. You can be strong, you can be powerful, and you can exercise. You can work out, and you can just keep going with it.
And it's also, like you said, it's just a different version of you.
Yeah.
So you're never going to be your old self, whether that's you want to go back to yourself, or you feel like, oh, I don't even recognise the person anymore. But it's just around, actually, I'm a new version, and let me embrace this new side of me as well.
So remembering that you're not just a mum.
Yeah.
You are a woman, you are your own person, you're a character, and maternity leave does feel like you're in a bubble of you and your baby, and you do think, what do I have to speak about now?
Yeah.
My child.
Yeah.
Who?
And they look
eating
habits and all of that stuff. That's all you feel like you can speak about. But actually, I'd like to turn around and say to mums, what do you do? What's your job? What do you work at? And get them reminding them about their lives and who they are and that type of stuff. So I guess my message is just to remember that you are more than a mum. And you are a strong woman.
Yeah.
And your, by the way, your playlist actually reflects that. I remember when it was, I think you did the rewind one. I can't remember. It was one term where it was like
Girl Power.
Girl Power. That was it. And so your playlist was from like Beyonce to like there was you've got Little Mix.
We just did every song
exactly.
You are a strong woman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You mentioned the dads briefly, and as much as we are absolutely the stronger, powerful, like sex, you do a session called Sweaty Dada.
Yes.
Right. Oh, and I love Sweaty Dada. So tell her. Delano loves Sweaty Dada, and he was able to do it with Zapian and at the time Exxon as well. So it brought us all together as a family.
I just want to say, men are okay.
Yeah. No, we love men.
We do. Men are We are, but we are just stronger.
Yeah.
I think that's the word I would say, Kieran. We are stronger mentally and physically. Yeah. The Sweaty Dada is, we do it once a year. It's a charity event. We do it for Tommy's charity, which is a baby charity. Yeah. And we bring the dads in and they do a session of Sweaty Dada. So it's basically everything that we normally do in the class, but just really hard. And we have them strapped to the chest and they do all of the choreo, they do all of the exercises. No floor work because it's just a fact, but they'll just do all of the standing track. And all the mums are sitting around the edges with tea and cake. Just for the dads. Yeah, so the mums will watch and record. Yeah. And then the dads will do it. But I have to say, and I always make this clear to the mums, that their like what's the word? Their coordination is definitely not
at all. There are some dads they're like dropping it low and winding it, but the other dads are a little bit like, is it left?
Very stiff,
right?
Very, very stiff. But I always have to remind the mums that you don't look like that. You look so much better than that, I promise. You know, you've got hips, you've got movement, you've got it. And there's something about the dad that is hilarious. It's so funny to watch. And, you know, I've made a reel on my Instagram of the last one as well. And all they have to do is that. That's all they have to do. There's something about it where they just can't get it. And you're like, what are you doing?
Not what I'm showing you.
Right. And you see the baby's faces and the carrier's like, what's like, this doesn't feel right. But the dads are amazing. Yeah. They really get involved. They put all their best foot forward.
Yeah.
A lot of the times when they get signed up to it, they don't actually know what. That's what.
And then I was like, you're doing the actual class with like the baby.
It's like once they're in it, they can't get out. They have to do it.
But actually, there's a deeper part of them that actually enjoys it.
I think they enjoy it. They love it. Yeah.
It's just very funny for me to watch it. I'm laughing and I'm trying to stick with it and I'm trying to push them to go, right, wait. It's really, really funny to watch. Yeah. Last year we raised, I think about £500 we raised for an hour's work. So not too bad. And for them to do it, they basically bought a ticket, which was them paying to, that's it. And then other people sponsored them, and I think I had about 23 dads.
Yeah, it was a
good turnout. It was a really good turnout. Yeah, it was very busy in there, and especially like with the mums and the babies as well. So it was a great day. And we'll continue to do it. So we'll do it every year. Every year we've had more and more come along to us as well, which is great. So we'll definitely do it again this year. Yeah, time actually.
Very soon, I'll bring it back. And the other thing I was going to say is the fact that my daughter loves Sweaty Mama as well. One of the barriers to, exercising is you might have more than one child. And you're like, right, what do I do with that other child when I've got an aerobics class? You bring them with you if you're doing Sweaty Mama. So Xavier did the class, and at first she was a little bit, and then her confidence came out. And whenever I go, I'm going Sweaty Mama, she's like, I'm coming with you. And you allow the old ones during half term and the holidays, right?
Yeah, do you know what was lovely is we just had a half term, and I have a mum who was with me back in 2021, something like that, so 2021. And this half term, she brought that baby back with her and her new baby. And she had, so this little girl, it was just so lovely. I think she's about 3, nearly 4 now, but she was on half term because nursery, they do the half term. But she brought her own little baby carrier, and she put her little baby in the carrier, and she was really getting involved. And the whole way she was going, oh my gosh, look at you. And it was just so lovely. Actually, I'm going to post that because she let me take a picture. So I'm going to post that on my social media.
Is that not what we say about you're more than a mum? Your children are looking at you as this amazing person. Yeah, and they just think you're the shit, basically.
Yeah.
And then it's just what we show them that they're going to pick up. And like you said, your boy is so confident when he sees you out here doing all this stuff. And that little girl clearly seeing her mum working out. And it's these things that we're drip feeding into our children as well, and who they see us as. So it makes such a difference. And we always, and I think it's so important because we talk about fitness and trying to get children into fitness a lot younger, and making sure that they're doing
levels.
So like our kids, they do like extracurricular activities, they do football or they do gymnastics or whatever it is that they do. But it's that thing of they see it from the parent as well. So if the parent is actually showing that this is important, we're raising confidence and exercising children as well, right?
I mean, that little girl in particular, she didn't stop. The whole way through, she was squatting, she was dancing, and she loved it. And I'd like to think she remembered what it was like. And then when she's seeing her mum doing it, she wouldn't know any different.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
All right. You're going to think this is really cheesy, but I think you're an inspirational woman. Honestly, I knew it. That's always Shannon's reaction. So when I came to Shannon's first class, and you're there and you don't know anyone, and I was like, who is this woman on fire on stage? So she's on stage, and she's on stage. A girl's got stage. That's what you need. She goes on the stage, but not just that, she makes it intimate. She walks around the class, she checks on you, she makes sure you're doing it. And there is something unique about you. You make your classes very different, and you make your classes personable. You are a naturally personable person, and I find you inspirational, which is why you are here on our podcast. And you are so humble as well about it.
I know, I actually can't cope with this.
Yeah, I know. It has to be said. It has to be said. And I want to thank you for taking me on that journey that brought me out from being at home to being just a powerful, strong woman. And it's that you must have other women who inspire you. So can you tell us about 1, 2, or just one person that inspires you and keeps you motivated?
Well, I mean, from a young age, it was always Serena Williams.
Yes.
She is the shit. I love Serena Williams. But recently, I'd say within the last couple of years, I have been following someone called Kristona Girod. And you'll find her on Instagram, Kristona with a K. And so I always watch her thinking, I want to be like. But that is an amazing, amazing person. And it's not about, she's not skinny. She's not like, oh, look at my big butt or anything like that. She's powerful.
Yeah.
She's got muscle.
Yeah.
She even to the point where she shaved all her hair off just because she had enough of it because she didn't need it anymore. No way. So there's just something about her that I am very inspired by because she shows you that you don't have to be that typical, petite and let's work on my hips and my bum and all that. So she's more
I'm
about
going to lift one way and then another way.
No, she's all about
Squad, press, cut. All right.
We start on the right side. Press row, take it high. Press row, walk it left. Left side, please. Press row, high, walk, stunning. Hey. Hey. Beautiful. Listen, right center, left center. Left center, right center. Right center, left.
She's really, really strong, but she's so humble with it too. Like, she's just so lovely. And she puts a lot of personal things on her page as well. Like, she even showed how she like cut her hair and things like that. And she talked about how she didn't feel comfortable wearing makeup one day. She wanted to put makeup on and things like that. So she's very, very personal, and she puts herself out there. It's very vulnerable, but she is also a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Really, really powerhouse. Kristona Girod, you have to look her
We
up.
will look
Yeah.
at her. And I'll put some videos in there as well so people can see it.
And I think it's so nice when we talk about women, when we talk about fitness and women, and it's not just around that kind of, oh, you have to do this lovely and stuff. When you showed the video, she is like in it. She is sweating. She is just working just as hard as the people that she's training and stuff like that. And you kind of, we always want it all look perfect when we're working out, but actually just focus on working out and getting your body strong. And I feel like that's the message that you've consistently said. Just get strong. And that's one thing that I'm definitely taking away from here.
It's about building the muscle. It's not. Sometimes just doing a strength training session is actually better than going for a run. Things like that, because you. But then one thing I didn't mention is nutrition.
Oh, let's talk about it. Right, okay, let's talk. We're gonna have to get Channon back, obviously. But just give us a little snippet of nutrition before we like get you back on another session.
Well, I'm not an expert. I'm a nutritionist.
You know, she'll come back and be like, "Oh, I've just done my qualification, and I'm like a nutritionist." Yes, there you go.
But no, I'm not an expert, but I have learned some stuff over the years, and you know, they always say protein is key. Protein. But there's ways around losing weight, and a lot of it is around diet. And they say I think it's like 70% diet, 30% exercise, maybe 80% diet, 20% exercise. But the main thing is consistency. So it's thinking about what you're actually eating. And
put that pre-med down.
Listen, at the time we place for pre-med, everybody.
Eat the pre-med.
I'm talking about now. I ate one last night, that's why.
But I do say to mums, I say to them, have your protein, but then...
And when we say protein, what do you mean? Because I feel like there's always all these terms floating about. When we talk about chicken, or we talk about steak and...
fish.
That
type of... You could have protein shakes.
Yeah.
You know, you could have Lidl's is amazing for their protein food. They've got like a whole protein section. Lidl's. Give that a go. They do a protein pudding. Oh my God,
oh my God!
It's like the custard and the cream of a trifle. But it's protein.
Okay.
I was going through there at one point. I was like, these are so nice. But yeah, protein is key. But also, there's different ways to lose weight. I don't want to give people advice on how to lose weight. I want to give people advice on their nutrition or their diet. But look into it as an option, because I think it is about 80% of your body losing weight is nutrition. 20% is diet. But I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to eat, and I'm trying to get strong. So for me, it's about eating the right foods, like lean meats, things like that, and strength training and exercise and working out, you know, to keep that body strong.
We are also going to be celebrating World Book Day when we put this out. So, okay. We're laughing because we kind of preempted this question by asking Channon, can you tell us your favourite book? And then she was like, I just have to admit.
I don't read books.
Listen, there is no shame in here, because I don't know the last time I picked up a book. Like, you said the last time you read a book was before, like...
Yeah, Mamalates, 6 now? So around then was the last time I actually sat down and read a book. So it's been a long time.
It's been a while. So what is your favourite book, or one of your favourite books, or friends?
Big story.
Back to 2008. Well,
let's take it back. Way back in the time.
It was the Twilight series. I watched the first movie, and I was like, "Who is Edward Cullen?" And then I was given the book, and then I read every single book in theory. That I was really excited about the film. But I have to say, I think that was a generational thing, because in my generation, I'm 36, and at that time,
It was about Twilight.
everyone wanted to watch Twilight. It was Team Edward or Team Jacob. So that was the last time I read a book. But I read all of them.
Okay.
So let's just put that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that was like 4. I think it was 4, yeah. Maybe 5. No, 4. It was 4. So yeah, that was the last time. And other than that, you get a lot of information.
You get a lot of information.
Because when people say, "Oh, I heard about something," you didn't read it. You saw it on TikTok because you were scrolling, and then you're going to share that information with your friend and say, "Oh, so I heard."
Yeah.
You know, but you heard it from TikTok.
Exactly. I don't have TikTok. I've got Instagram. A lot of the time I'm like, oh, I read.
Yeah.
I
read somewhere. Yeah, you read a post.
Thank you. Exactly. On Instagram.
Actually, I'm going to take it deeper, because you guys read every day to your children.
Oh yeah.
No, but you're reading.
But yeah, no,
Because
you're right.
checking their reading, you're actively reading.
Yeah, that's very true.
And does your son have like a book that he really likes, or is there one book where you're constantly reading it every night and you're like, can we have a different book, please?
Yeah, my son likes just books about bogies and poo.
Oh,
okay.
Stuff like that.
Maybe his current favourite book
Yeah.
is like Pirates in the Pants or something.
Yeah. We had to read last night. It was Bob the Bogey Fairy that we read last night. But because we read a book every night, we do before bed. But he has a lot of Julia Donaldson books.
Oh, we love Julia.
Yeah, we love Julia
Monkey
Donaldson.
Puzzle with my son's
Yeah,
favourite one.
mine likes the Smebs and the Smooths.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But we've got those, and then there's a bit on the back where he sees all the different books.
Yes. Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah. So I thought, okay, well, I'll keep a lookout for it. But he likes those books.
Yeah.
So he reads them, but then he's got another, the whole book library thing. So he's got another section which I put into place, which is pants and poo and poo in the zoo and. Yeah, so we do.
Have you read the dinosaur that pooped the planet?
Yes.
Oh,
And the dinosaur that pooped Easter, that was the
another one.
Yeah.
I know, like,
And then the dinosaur that wears pants as well. The king's pants.
The elephant. There's one about the elephant that lost his pants as well. We've got that one. Yeah, that's another one.
Let's keep a look out for that one. There's loads of fairy. Oh, Frank the Fart Fairy is another one. So we've read that too. So we've got. Actually, to be fair, so I've got an area that's got the books about big people. Is it Little People, Big Dreams?
Yeah.
So we've got Muhammad Ali, we've got David Attenborough,
Yes.
we've got, Bruce Lee, all of those ones.
Yes.
Then we've got the Julia Donaldson. Then we've got the Crude, all of that stuff. So he picks what he wants to read.
I love that.
He is. Yeah.
But I love how you're able to list all your books. And then you're like, with me, I'm like,
Literally Twilight. And Instagram reels.
It's literally what it's like. I'm doing choreo, honestly.
That part. Choreo's not going to do itself.
Exactly.
Final question. When was the last time you pulled an all-nighter?
Well, I mean, when you have a child, you are up all night. You do have.
Oh my gosh, hold on. I have to say, so we always do like a pre-podcast interview. So when Channon says she's up all night, she's being serious. Like literally, she was like, right now, I'm in my son's bedroom trying to get him to bed.
Yeah.
Like literally give me like give me a few moments, like give me a minute. So you're pulling an all-nighter there already.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You lay on their floor and honestly, and I have to like put my arm up like that and rub his back while I'm messaging you. Go, yeah, I'm just. But that's what you do. That's a mum, right? Yeah, it's mum. I'll get a new inquiry. Someone's interested in a class, and I'm going, yeah, I'm just like that. So yeah, that's probably. But then also when they're ill, because I think I had a lot of health anxiety when my son was born. And the minute he's ill, I'm like, oh. So if he has a temperature and stuff like that, I am up all night.
Yeah.
Because I do get a bit like worried and stuff with him. Prior to my baby was probably the days of ministry and egg. If you know, you know. Those type of places where you're up and out, partying all night.
Yeah,
I don't have a baby. I don't need to, you know, I'm going to sleep all day the next day. I'm order a Domino's pizza in bed the next day. Those types of
Living the
ones.
dream.
Yeah. And then prior to that, I was 14 in a field, you know, drinking that
Life comes in fast.
That's it. But I do like to think a lot of people in my... So I do try to relate to my mums in class, and we do speak about things. And I think a lot of mums do relate to my life, you know, and things that have happened in our lives because we've all grown up in the same way.
Yes.
I'd like to think.
100.
Yeah. So yeah, that was probably those different time frames. Yeah, I've done that, and I'm sure there's more to come.
I'm sure.
Especially, yeah.
We want to say a massive thank you to Channon from Sweaty Mama Beckenham for her time today, all your advice, your amazingness, and just like we wish you well on like all the stuff that you're doing. We're excited to have you back.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I'll be back. I've had a great time. Thank you so much. Thank you.
How can they find
How can
you?
people-
How can they book you? What do we do? What do people do?
I guess all you need to do is Google me. So Google.
I'm on Google, guys. I'm on Google.
You Google Sweaty Mama or Sweaty Mama Beckenham and you will see my face. Google Sweaty Mama Beckenham. Instagram, Sweaty Mama Beckenham. Facebook, but it's more Instagram. And then you'll see my number. WhatsApp me, and I just said I'll be so yeah, you can find me. I'm not to find. You'll find me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Give me 4, 8, 5, yeah? One side, 5, 6, 4. Give me 9,